closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Executive Geek Roundtable.
All right, let's go.
Oh, so worms over natto.
Yes, yes.
That's debatable.
Yeah, I ain't fucking with that. No. You guys, welcome back for another show. We are here for yet another week. And guess who we have back? We have Tamara! Well, you have a different hat on this week. Which
No,
hat
it's the
is
same
this?
one. It's the beer hat.
Oh, no.
Did I wear that?
I'm missing my hat. Cause one of you gentlemen.
Yeah, Julian, lost that. Run, get it. Hide, hide.
Give me my hat on.
No, hide.
like a loser
Get it.
dog.
Hide, hide, no. Here, do it.
You're very impressive
Boom!
without
Catch it!
your hat.
Catch it! Go! Boom! Now,
Just
boom!
listen.
All right, camera on. All right, we're back. We're back.
Now we know that he has a head underneath it.
Can you
Right.
please?
Like,
See, we
Secret's
only
out.
still don't know about
I'm
the
alive.
There could be a
alive.
fist under there.
a fist under the beard.
You got to Chuck Norris
Chuck
stunned in
Norris
there.
is on it.
Oh, the family
Chuck Norris
guy.
has everything in his beard.
Is that another Chuck Norris? In there?
Yeah,
I love how
Its beard
characters
has the
fall
hand.
in Family Guy when they get knocked out.
In the arm thing.
But it's like it's so abrupt.
Yeah, right.
Like 2 frames of animation and then the
You try
arm.
to draw a person falling over it.
It's so good.
Oh.
Oh my god.
That's so real. Oh my god. Well, you guys, this episode we decided to do something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about nostalgia, why it works, why it doesn't, and what's happening in Hollywood in terms of this big nostalgia craze that they're on.
Remember Lion King?
I mean, I'm just saying, baby. You know, we on and on. RoboCop. Oh my god, and they're remaking RoboCop again.
Why?
Wait, it's a remake?
Well, actually, no. It's a sequel. It's technically a sequel, and they're bringing back like a lot of the original characters.
Okay,
But they're,
I like that.
But it's like okay, but
I didn't hate
Yeah.
the last one. Actually, it was okay.
the last one really wasn't bad at all.
As a
I'm like,
standalone movie.
Well, you
it
know,
was
it's the
good.
saying goes, if you can't do something right.
And they actually used Detroit this time.
right?
Yeah.
That was a big
Fucking
thing.
Dallas.
That was a big thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll give them that.
That is true. That is true. I love that.
But I can't believe, though, Detroit was just like, no, we don't want a RoboCop statue.
Just
I don't get
what
it.
else you got there?
Let me cut my head off.
Instead of thinking the Rocky statue brings so many tourists.
I mean, I'm saying, dude.
It's a win-win.
Like it's a
You didn't
real
want like
thing.
RoboCop just like with the one arm and the.
Like, look, let's
getting out
be
of the
real.
cop car.
Let's be real. Why y'all being bougie?
Yeah, for real.
Detroit, why y'all being bougie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Y'all ain't got shit else.
Fine, give me the.
I mean, you got the
RoboCop
Red Wings. Y'all got the Red
They
Wings.
have gardens there now.
Yeah.
They do. Actually, that's kind of dope. Like,
they got gardens, yeah.
we're talking about engineering and shit
Yeah, they
earlier.
got
I
gardens,
think that's sick. I'm so glad to see like interesting
Yeah.
things happening in that city.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, y'all could be doing it with a RoboCop.
With a RoboCop statue.
With some roses.
Nothing says science and engineering like RoboCop.
That's
Come on.
true.
Come on.
With roses.
Although I'm
See?
still
On
waiting.
the plaque, it should say,
It's
"I'd
got
buy that
Steve
for
on
it."
the stem. You might as well just.
I'm
Yeah.
still waiting for that Terminator versus RoboCop. Like,
That'll probably never happen.
I know, but I'm still waiting.
Yeah, because you know who doesn't want
Let's
it?
get rich enough to make it.
You know who doesn't want it? No,
Terminator.
James. James doesn't want
Of
it.
course he doesn't.
Because it's James Cameron. No one fucking knows what
James.
goes in
I
that
can
man's
understand
James.
that's his story.
James.
It's like his
Just
baby. He doesn't
James.
want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still.
James, James.
We got Alien
Why, though?
versus Predator, so why not RoboCop versus
Yeah, I know. But look, at least we get another Terminator sequel, and it's an actual sequel.
It looks good.
And James Cameron is coming back.
That's exciting.
Like,
That's exciting.
yeah. When I seen that trailer, I was like, oh my god, yes. When Linda Hamilton stepped out that damn truck, I was like,
Yeah.
I've been burned too
I'll
many
let him
times
do
where
that
I'm
shit,
cautious. I'm
Yeah.
just, I'm
For
standing
sure,
by.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like you all can jump into the ocean first. I'll wait to see if any sharks come out.
the only smart one. And before we get into it, you guys, you know, we have to start off all times with top news of the day, bitches!
All right, thumbs up. Ready, guys? Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Really, nigga?
Like that sound. No, that's the main subject. Okay, so first top news, as usual, we have to start off, of course, with Florida Man. Okay, so
God, this
this
was
story
doozy.
read just the headline right here. You see their reactions already. So
His
Florida
face
man
says it
denies
all.
syringes found in his rectum. So basically, what happened? A guy named Wesley Scott was for his daily checkup and kind of pat down whatever. They found syringes in his butt. And he said they weren't his and doesn't know how they got there.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Now,
Where were you?
now see, now this is how we gonna unpack this. I just imagine the security guard doing this thing, turn around, do your thing, pat down. All right, boom, bend over, tongue out, tongue up, look left, look right. I've done this before. So, turn around, pat, ow, shit.
Yeah.
Needle or plunger sticking
Right?
out.
Mr. Scott, please bend over. And he bends over and the long needle just goes zzz, right out the back.
Sticks right out.
Somebody go get Bobby. We got needles in his ass. And those don't belong to me. Who the fuck they belong to?
Also, bring your phone.
Right? Now bring
It's gonna be good.
You need to lay off the shit.
Like,
If you don't know how they got there, if you didn't know they were there, maybe you should stop fucking using your
I'm
own
concerned,
supply.
did those needles, puncture the rectum?
Yeah, right.
My
I'm
thing
hoping,
is,
Lord, did he have
What?
caps on him?
I hope they're in the cheek and not in the hole.
That's right.
Okay?
No, they said
No,
rectum.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the
Oh,
blood inside.
oh.
Maybe he got poked by one of them and he went to sleep.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that next story. All right. I don't want to unpack that no more. So, this next story is a fun one because this popped up on my Facebook a while back and I lost it and I had to look it up again. Basically, this young girl posts a picture with the caption that says "Run Up."
Okay.
But the thing about it is, old girl has a super old ass gun.
Oh, yeah.
And what made it really funny was the comments. So we're going to go through each one of these fucking comments and just go down the line. Because they went in on this girl. So let's look at these comments. What we
The
got?
gun looks like.
All right, look. Look, the first comment. The gun has a license papers written with a feather over it.
That motherfucker about to shoot dust.
Oh, look at the bottom.
They can repeat that at the same time.
The bottom one. What in the stagecoach robbery is going on here?
Look, the caption should say, "Runneth up on thee in formal confrontation." God, let's see. Yeah, what in the... Oh, God. Okay, all right. What else we got? Keep going. Oh, Jesus.
What
I bet
is
she
a Boston
traded a
Tea
loaf of
Party?
bread.
apple bottom jeans and boots with the spurs.
Oh, here we go again. What in the Boston Tea Party? No, taxation without representation is happening here.
Right. She traded a loaf of bread and 3 shillings.
She got beef at high noon.
Yo, oh my God.
I bet she has on apple bottom jeans, boots with
With
the
the
spurs.
spurs. Oh. Cause see, the thing that get me about shit like this is the
Awesome.
internet can be relentless sometimes.
Yeah, but
And you have
sometimes
to
they're
be
Like the
spot
dudes
on.
in the Muppet Show.
Right? It's like you gotta be real careful about what you put on because people would just I imagine what this girl got this gun that really thought she was tough that day.
You know what? I mean,
Look at her. I mean, she looked like she ready. And it's like, boo-boo. But, seriously, it's a square fucking barrel. They don't even take normal fucking bullets, though.
But even then,
hasn't
why are
made
you
it to
posing with the
Smithy.
gun?
No, but look, go to the last part of the comments. The comment on the very bottom said, look, this motherfucker Smith and Wesson wasn't even part of the company yet.
Oh, wait, but that she gotta walk 10 paces before she shoots.
Wait, which one?
But she has to walk 10 paces before she shoots.
I love that Shotty needs to hit the mystery box again. I mean,
She got this
get
shit.
stuff at SDCC in those mystery boxes, right? You don't know.
Her old great granddad closet said, "Baby, I got something for you passed down from the family.
why
We
is
didn't
she
mean to take
posing
that
with
shit
it?
out and use it actually."
she about to try to handle some business.
Dude, she gonna get tetanus when she fired this motherfucker. Yo, we killing Mike over here. Mike is dying.
Oh my god.
And see, Mike's reaction is how I was at 3 o'clock in the morning reading this story, trying not to wake up my kid.
You read this story, no one's sleeping anymore.
I'm sorry.
You're
right.
crying.
We're gonna make this into a whole meme right here.
It's a very emotional moment. I mean, it's historical even.
It's a big one.
Hey, that's a gun from
On
history,
the
so it
fucking
makes
Antique
sense.
It
Roadshow.
is, that's the gun Harriet Tubman used to free the slaves.
It's hot, Jesus. I'm sweating. Oh, God.
Oh my god.
ladies and gentlemen, that is top news for the day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for our top subject of the day, we're going to get into talking about some nostalgia, because the thing that's interesting lately is not only Disney, but a lot of other places are really going hard on remakes or live action remakes, or really pushing the nostalgia button really, really hard. And it's interesting because some are working, some aren't really working, and some are having very surprising results. Like more recently, the new Lion King film coming out has seen a lot of mixed reviews. A lot of people say, you know, it's the exact same movie as it was in the 90s, or they just added more time, or they've ruined my childhood, blah, blah, blah. So it really opens the question of, does nostalgia work, and how to make it work correctly? And for me, a good example, although I'm not a very big fan of the show, it's going to surprise people, Stranger Things.
I was about to say, it's very timely that we're looking at the screen here and we see Stranger Things amongst
Boy,
a lot of
don't be
nostalgia.
talking bad about Stranger Things.
No.
Hey,
Don't you make me take this hat off.
This is the thing. Well, look, I went to school with the brothers. Literally, I went to school with them. Like I know, like I know them well. But the show, to me, it's a good show, but it's not a show I'm a fanatic about.
Sure.
That's the thing.
But each their own.
Yeah, but I do think that they do nostalgia really, really fucking well.
They do.
I agree.
You know, because with
Got
them,
me, damn it.
what
Yeah,
they
they got me
do,
too.
they get the environment, they get the time, they get the feeling, and they put in nice little Easter eggs.
Little details.
Yeah, and little
They
tidbits.
in the background.
They put it up to where they can still pull back and have their own original story.
Exactly.
It's not just like, look, see, it's retro.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the issues that some of these films are having, you know, a problem with the cover nostalgia, because they're saying, let's rehash or redo everything that you remember, or let's just completely change everything, as opposed to saying, let's give you something that you haven't really seen, but put in tidbits. Like one of me and my wife's favorite shows called The Goldbergs. The Goldbergs is such
I haven't seen it.
a good
All
I've
I
seen the
picture
previous
I don't
one.
watch it, but I've heard good things.
It's
Yeah,
so good.
God.
And when his mom's actually like in the in the actual pictures.
And
I
at
just
the
love it.
end of every episode, they show you the shit that really happened.
Yeah.
Like, because basically, the show is based off Adam Goldberg's real life. And they take each episode and they take something that really happened in his real life. And at the end of the episode, they show the original VHS of the thing that really fucking happened.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, and
All I picture in my head is just like a bunch of Bill Goldbergs.
right? And
Wife!
right? Actually, it's funny because Bill Goldberg shows up in the show as actually the gym teacher's older brother. That's
awesome.
Yeah, it's really funny. And they do nostalgia really well because it is definitely an 80s show.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, they get the toys, the
And the
music.
helicopter mom is like
Right?
perfect. I
Everything.
mean,
Like, you get the perfect
watch this.
Pennsylvania
Yeah.
Jewish family, and just, it's perfect.
Awesome.
That sounds
It's
good.
like, that's how you
Where
do
is-
it really
where
well.
is it on?
It's on ABC.
Okay.
Because ABC is really, really good, and it's like that and Stranger Things are good examples. But some of these new films, like you see with Disney, we're going to go down the list of some of these films that have already been remakes and some that are coming, and it's just like you look at the controversy that's surrounding Little Mermaid, you know, and how everyone's mad that, you know, they cast a black Ariel and that Melissa McCarthy is playing Ursula, and we're not getting like a black drag queen. My only issue with that in terms of nostalgia is, are they going to capture the same feeling of the original film, since they're making a remake of that film?
Sure.
You know, because yes, I get creative license. I get, you know, doing your own thing and making it updated, because Aladdin actually did really, really well with that. But when they're trying to put in too many new things, does that kill nostalgia?
Right.
You know?
I don't know. 'Cause the one thing I really liked about the casting, though, and it's something that we talk about a lot when we're looking at the inequality between like men and women and job fields, is that for once it was based on merit, talent, and skill.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that I love the most, because I mean, new Ariel's voice is freaking amazing. Like
Oh,
I'm not gonna,
yeah.
I'm not
No,
gonna lie.
I've
Like
heard
she
her.
might actually have a better voice than the original Ariel.
Yeah.
Sounds
Like,
great. I'll
and I'm
give
a
her
redhead,
that.
and no hate, you know. But seriously, like I'm excited to see her. As that.
Yeah, for me, it hits on a few different points, because on one side, I agree with that 100%. But on the other side, I also know what Disney is trying to do, because they're saying, hey, we want to show everyone that we're new and progressive, we're moving to a new time, but it's just like,
You know it would be incredibly impactful
yeah.
if we made Ariel a woman of color.
Well, the thing that gets me is they're the way they're presenting it like it's never been done before. And I'm like, stop, because we had some black mermaids, not only in the original movie, Because if you actually go look at the original movie, they have a few black mermaids in there. But also in the Little Mermaid series and in Little Mermaid 3, there's a black mermaid named Gabriella who uses American Sign Language to communicate.
Really?
You know?
Oh, wow.
And then I had 2 points too for at least with mermaids.
Yeah.
In the show once.
Yeah.
They changed Ursula's background.
Yeah.
She was a woman of color, and she actually used to be a mermaid.
Yeah.
On top of that,
really?
she had she was, in fact, they tried to make her like a parallel story to Ariel, where she was like a siren. So they did that with her. And
Well,
then,
they took that
They
from
changed
The Little
Ursula's
Mermaid,
questions.
the second sequel, the
Yeah.
third movie, because you get Ursula's background and see what really happened to her.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
next Disney had released in the 1997
Yep.
a version of the Robert and Hammerstein Cinderella musical, and
Brandy.
Cinderella was black. You had
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg in
Oh,
it. You had
Whoopi
Whitney
Goldberg.
Houston.
Whitney Houston, yeah.
And in fact, it was very progressive casting because, like,
Yeah.
the king and queen, like, you had Whoopi Goldberg, and I'm sorry, I forget the name of the actor who played the king.
Yeah.
But he was white, but their son was Filipino.
Yeah.
Prince Charming
Yeah.
was Filipino.
really?
Yeah.
And see,
But, like, I
yeah.
don't remember anyone complaining about that when it came out.
Well,
Well, it was probably skill again. They got those roles because they were the right part for them.
Well, it's
Yeah.
also one of those things to where, especially during the 90s, because, and this is all I want to talk about nostalgia, the 90s was really a time where they did a lot of things that were different. Actually, the 80s and 90s, because that's when you saw the all-black, what's the girl in Kansas, Dorothy.
Oh,
Wiz,
Wizard
Wiz,
of Oz?
the
Was
Wiz.
it the Wiz?
Yeah, when you did the Wiz, and
Oh,
they
I
changed
love the
things
Wiz.
up.
That was so good.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they did so many cool things with that. And it was a little bit more okay then because that was kind of an experimental time. And everyone was a little more open to things that they knew being changed.
Sure.
Nowadays, I think one of the biggest reasons that people are getting angry and have problems with it is because people like to hold on to their childhood a little bit too much. And they don't want to see anything different.
Yeah.
You know, because I hate the line, "You've ruined my childhood." It's like, first of all, you're an adult. Stop.
You can
Okay.
always go back.
Your childhood is
I mean, your
over,
childhood
right?
Undo.
is capsulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
It's not.
memories are still there.
Yeah, it's not like the original
all right,
films
guys.
are going
You're
to
good.
go away. You know, but it's
It's
just,
still there.
yeah, right.
Watch it.
It's like
Enjoy it.
pull out your VHS, like
Yeah, the
Yeah.
technology too has like gotten far enough along
Yeah,
where
exactly.
we even have the technical capabilities to recreate some of that stuff.
Well, that's
Because-
Yeah.
the Lion King, and actually, that's something though that does bother me just a little bit. For instance, I was watching some behind the scenes of The Little Mermaid, and I liked how it was so spontaneous and how they were just thinking on their feet. Like, how can we do this shot? Like in the song where she's singing "Part of Your World," and if you notice in that shot, it's kind of like they did like a whole 360 around her, and then they go up, so you see her looking up. They thought of that. The animators had like a stand-in actress
Yep.
for Ariel, and they thought just last minute, hey, what if we turn the camera around and did that? So when the animators go, they can use that. But it was like, you know, at the moment, spontaneous thinking
Sure.
and being creative, and you could tell there was just so much passion behind that, so much
Yeah.
heart and soul. They weren't
Yeah.
thinking about, hey, let's be woke here, or let's
Yeah.
do any of that. It's just, let's tell a good story, and then animation is art. It's beautiful. Not the new one, the new kind with CG isn't, but just back then, there's that human quality where it's hand-drawn a little bit. You
Yeah.
know, that just kind of brings, I have a soft spot for that.
Or even like practical effects.
yes,
Same thing,
Yeah.
oh,
Very much
especially
so.
for
Very,
that.
very much so.
Oh, you
Yeah.
hit me right there, yes.
Like
That's
John,
what-
like
yeah.
okay,
But that was one thing
Wing-
Stranger Things kind of
Whoa.
nailed this season. The practical
Well,
effects
Really?
were out of
Yeah.
Yes, this season,
Yeah.
I will say this about the Demogorgon, though. That is actually a practical suit. I have
Yeah.
seen the actual suit, and it's phenomenal.
Sure
It's
is.
really cool, and it's a shame that they CG'd it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's another part that really gets with the nostalgia is that the soul isn't always there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Because-
totally.
Yeah, because the one thing that even watching Aladdin, although I did enjoy it, watching Maleficent, watching some of these other films, and some of the bits that I have seen from Lion King, they're good, but the soul is kind of missing.
It's
Sure.
Because
missing that.
you don't have the same, like when I hear that, you go,
Yeah.
yeah, right?
No, is it because there's something missing, or is it because the original was so freaking on?
It's
point?
because there's something missing. Actually, it's a little bit of both, and I'll tell you why. It's not only because the original was so on point, but there's a different level of passion that kind of went into those projects.
That's what I was saying.
As
what-
opposed,
yeah,
because
it's
when you get a lot of these remakes, you're getting someone else's. I like to call it. I know people don't like the term, but I like to call it someone else's expensive fan fiction of
Sure,
that film.
like it's an interpretation of
Yeah.
the original
Maleficent
art.
especially.
Yeah, and someone
So many
is saying,
liberties.
I want to do a fan fiction because I now have money and I want to redo this. And you get some of the same feeling, but it's still a lot of that missing. And I guess, maturity does change a lot of that, but it's something when you watch a movie over and over and over again, you still get that same tingle down your spine, that same excitement that these remakes don't always capture. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. Like, actually, Jasmine's new song, the new Aladdin, gave me that feeling from the old movies, although it was, actually, even though it wasn't in the old movies. But what took me out of it was they had some crazy things in this new film to just kind of show that they're woke and they're progressive. That was like, but that's not what Aladdin was all about. Like, the characters
Let
were
the story rock.
Yeah, it's like
remake it.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's like you already had a movie that was full of strong characters. None of the characters, with the exception of the Sultan, because he was an idiot, were actually
kind of the point.
it was actually weak and dumb.
Right.
Everyone was badass and everyone was cool.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like they try to put a lot of these extra things in it that pull you out of it when you're trying to say, I want to have a moment and connect to this piece.
Right.
But then you get all this extra, and that's the thing with the remakes that's getting
It feels like the Passion of the Christ. It's like they were adding in stuff that was not even discussed in the Bible just for the sake of being progressive.
For
and
shock value.
Right,
And
it's
things
like-
that. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Like the thing that bothered me about some of the live actions, like the Jungle Book, for instance.
Sure.
Yeah.
The violence, like because it is live action, like when it's
Yeah.
a cartoon, like it was still scary in the cartoon, but like seeing it and them actually being real animals, even though they're not real animals, but you know what I mean. Like it was really hard to watch. Like I was actually hiking and talking about the Lion King, and the girl that had just seen it like warned us. She's like, there are some scenes. She's like that. It, as a child, scared me and made me cry. She's like, but it was just so violent.
And it's
Yeah.
PG this
I could
time.
not
It's
watch.
no longer G. Yeah, because and they've taken it, and because that's another thing with the remakes that they've done. Although we know all these movies are already from original source material, and the original source material was actually very fucked up. Especially when you look at like the
lot of
original,
that
like
stuff.
the original Jungle Book, the
Dark.
Go
original
back and watch one of our
Cinderella.
previous episodes on Disney villains.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that-
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
they're also, and that's another thing, they're taking liberties from some of the original properties and kind of putting that in, which makes sense on one end because a lot of us are older, but on the same time, it's just kind of like, oh, y'all made that a little darker than expected, And it's kind
I
of,
shouldn't have just shared that with my kid or my niece.
Yeah. Cause I'm like, I'm gonna take you to see this. This is awesome. I was little. You go, wait a minute.
And then
You
you're
didn't need to
like-
see that,
Right.
because that was Kipling's, Jungle Book, not the,
Yeah.
no, so right. Ooh, R.I.P. Boots. Damn, that was dark. That was really dark.
That was really dark.
That one actually shocked me. I don't
I
get
know, I was
shocked
like,
in movies, but when I saw Boots, I said, oh, fuck. All right.
I was like, you're
damn.
going there, okay.
I'm like, I know
but
Andy
I'm
Serkis
sad.
really went dark because he wanted to go close to the book, but that just like went. I was like, fuck Boots, but it also is things like that because they're trying to capture the old audience, but they do it in a way to where, well, let's shock them and let's give them all these big things that they need, and it's like we don't necessarily need all that. Sometimes we do want to trip down memory lane without having to say, hey, let's go back to our old VHS movie. So it's just like, what do we really do that makes that work? And as we go through this list, I want us to actually talk about each one of these movies and what we think we would like to see in them that'll make it work. And as we scroll down, what's the first one that comes up? Lion King. Okay, so we know that's coming out soon. It's coming out on the 19th, actually. What I've seen of it, I have enjoyed. They have actually added about, I would say, probably like a good 30 minutes to the film that really gives you a lot more Nala.
James
and a
Earl
little,
Jones
and James Earl Jones is back as Mufasa. What I really wanted from this film, and I told Sam about this a million times. I said, if y'all brought back James Earl Jones, I wanted them to bring back Jeremy Irons.
Well, I was with
I
you
know.
on that.
Jonathan
I
Taylor
was,
Thomas.
Yeah.
Why can you not have our normal stuff?
Yeah, it's like I
That would be
wanted.
nostalgia. He was a heartthrob.
I really wanted
Totally.
Jeremy Irons because
I
although I can never pronounce his name, what is Cheeto with?
Chiwetel Ejiofor?
Yeah, you said it right. I can never pronounce his name. Sorry for butchering that man's name, but he's a great Scar. But Jeremy Irons just has he has that thing about it when you hear that voice.
Yeah.
And
I'd say because animation and like live action casting
Yeah.
are very different. The voice, I'm sure you both can really talk about this more, but when you're having a voice actor, they put a lot more, like, there's character in the voice itself. You could close your eyes and just visualize what kind of creature or person that voice is bringing to life versus live action. It's a different thing. So that's why that's why in animation it's okay to have someone of a different ethnicity voice a character because it's first of all it's the voice, and second their voice might be just right for the role. Given their diction.
Or sex even. Like it could just it could be a woman doing a male character.
That happens all the time.
All the
So
time.
that's why
It's
a different thing, and I'm kind of that's why I'm with you. I'm disappointed they didn't bring back Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, I would have loved that. I will say that Beyonce isn't as bad as I thought she would be. She's still not. She's still one of the weaker cast members, just because she's a great singer. She's not.
Yeah, but how big of a character?
She plays Nala.
Oh, she's
But
Nala.
how big of
she
a
plays
character
Nala.
Nala was really though? So it's
But Nala was still a very strong and significant character to where when she did speak, you believed her. With Beyonce, when her and Donald sing, they're on point because they're great singers. But it's when she has her lines, it's like
okay, I see.
Like when she's speaking and she has her dialogue, it's kind of like, I believe that line. I don't believe that.
Okay, I see.
So but I can tell she's gotten some training. I will say that. I will say that as her Nala is a lot better from her other films that she did before, and we won't mention any of those. All right,
John
next
Oliver
one.
is Zazu.
He nails the hell out of that. Now, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. Now, the thing about the Maleficent series, I was very wary when these films came out, but they're probably my favorite.
I really like them.
Yeah. And Angelina, still love her to death. But the second one I was nervous because I'm like, where are they going to go from here? Are they going to ruin it? But when I saw the trailer and they're going back to her background, you're going to see where she came from.
Yeah.
And then you have Michelle Pfeiffer.
See, this is going to be interesting because I know that in early production for the first Maleficent film, they wanted to explore her backstory more, and we got a small glimmer of it, but there was supposed to be an extended background. And from what I understand, they're recycling some of it for the sequel.
That's nice.
And which I like because that's a part of, I guess you say, our nostalgia that we never got to tap into. We never really got to see the world of Sleeping Beauty. We had to read about it or do different things like that.
We sort of landed right when we're just like, oh, here she is, and here's when she's waking up, and that's about it.
And then Maleficent was always bad. And it was like, but there's a different side to that, and I like how they've done that. What's up?
I didn't know Chiwetel Ejiofor is in this movie too.
He plays one of the main leaders of her people.
That
and he's
was
in the trailer.
him. That's right.
That was him in the trailer. Yeah, and I was
right.
like, oh, fuck, this looks really good. So
I gotta watch the first one still.
It's good.
It looks
so
really
good.
It's really.
Yeah.
I walked out of the theater surprised. I was like, that was a good damn movie. Fuck.
I have to admit, she just nails it. Like in the first movie where she's wearing the classic attire, and she goes in and just goes, well.
She's very captivating and very powerful and menacing looking.
Shout out for makeup to Rick Baker and Ariane Titan. They did phenomenal job with the makeup for the first film, and then Ariane comes back for the sequel. So.
It is literally a role that Angelina, I don't want to say was born for, but she's owned the fuck out of Maleficent. And I was like, girl, you knocked the shit out of that, like kick ass. So I'm really excited for the sequel because this is a series that they took something that we didn't really know that well, and they made something good out of it while still giving us that old school. Damn, okay, this is one of the old Disney classics, So I'm excited with that.
I
Next,
wish they would do more of the villains, though.
Yes.
So, Once Upon a Time did that really well as a series. They brought the villains out and gave them stories, and I feel like
I would watch
Maleficent
Jafar.
did so well.
Dude,
yeah,
I would love to see Jafar and Ursula.
Yeah.
No, actually, we're getting a Cruella film. We are. Yes, we are. We are. We're getting it's Emma Stone. Yeah, Emma Stone. Yes, that's on the list too. Exactly. Yes.
Remember when Glenn Close though?
I hope she plays like Corella's mother because I actually know the backstory of Corella. I actually know the backstory. It's pretty damn dark. If they bring in Glenn Close to play,
with Once, or is it different?
Oh no, it's darker. It's darker. So I don't know what they're going to do, but if they have Glenn Close play her mom, yes. Okay. So next film.
He's gonna
so
duel again.
Mulan. Now, I have a lot of questions about this movie because, look, I told this to Sam. I have two feelings about this film. On one hand, I'm very excited because it looks pretty damn good.
But
on the other hand, I feel like it's a Chinese version of Joan of Arc, how they're building the film. Now I know it's based on the real, although the real story is very,
ballad,
very
I
different.
think.
Yeah, the real story is really different. But the problem is, and I've always said this about Mulan. If you take out Cricky, Mushu, and the grandma, Mulan is a very boring film. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a very boring film.
When you break it down, and he's right.
Yeah, it's a very boring film.
I'm gonna be real.
The story, the movie, you take out all the comedy, all the.
It's basically about a teenager who says, "I want to do this to save my dad, and plus I need to find out who I really am." Go. I'm like, that's a teenager. Okay, we've seen that a million times. Kind of boring. The comedy is what keeps the movie alive and going and keeps you interested. And not to say Mulan is a bad film. It's not a bad film. It's just kind of boring and predictable. And with the live action film, they're making things a lot more serious. They're making the grandma serious. Mushu is gone and being replaced with the Phoenix, although the Huns had a Phoenix in the original film. And Cricky is going to be talking somewhat. So I'm like, I got question marks about
That's
that.
just at-home miscommunication was such a great part of the movie.
Exactly.
I'm noticing here, it's like there's this tug of war, because I remember reading on, beginning when they announced it, that they wanted it to be true to the ballad, and be respectful, and make it more of like this epic historical film, and then suddenly you're telling me like, oh no, we are getting Cricky and a foul.
It's what happens when
two different directions.
It's like the same thing they did with Jungle Book. They're trying to pull from too much either of the source material and of what we got in the animated films and trying to blend them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it'll work because this film either have to be a lot of comedy with serious stakes or just an all serious film. You can't try to mix them up too much, and that's what it seems like that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Hero mixed with...
Jet Li's even in it.
It's going to be Hero mixed with Joan of Arc.
Right.
And I'm like... And you have Donnie Yen and Jet Li.
Yeah.
The cast isn't the problem.
Yeah, no.
It's like,
the cast is crazy.
As Disney movies go,
it's a dope cast.
Well, no, but I've never really been a big fan. Like the music's fine, but that was never the music.
The characters.
But Mulan was kind of my exception.
Yeah,
it was kind of perfect.
Yeah, and they're changing a lot of the music too.
I know.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get the
Guardian
man?
Hilarious.
Yeah, I know.
I read they would change. I'm like,
it has to. That's like one of the best Disney pre-workout songs.
That's going to be a very different song. They're remixing that, and they haven't said anything on it, and I'm like, So this film, I'm very, very nervous about it because you know what feeling I get from it? I get very much Beauty and the Beast. The Beauty and the Beast wasn't a bad film, but they made a lot of bad choices in that film.
Oh, the new live action one?
Like Beauty and the
they
Beast.
made a lot of bad choices with that wasn't even necessary. Like, of course, Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid are two of my least favorite Disney films just because, like...
I won't take that person.
Yeah. Well, you know what's one thing that really bugged me about Beauty and the Beast? I'm just going to unload about that right here.
Ariel is probably one of the worst characters ever.
No, but I love Ursula.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay, good.
What bugged me about Beauty and the Beast, though, was actually Emma Watson. Yeah. This is a self-proclaimed feminist taking on the role of Belle. They had to rewrite the character. So you're an inventor on top of a, bookworm. But also just her performance, her best scenes are actually with her father. Yeah. But with the Beast, there was nothing.
They just had to keep putting a lot in that didn't work.
She was pulling. Yeah. She was like Kristen Stewart in Twilight in Beauty and the Beast. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just no emotion. I really didn't buy the relationship between her and the Beast. Yeah. I didn't understand how they had to write in the bubonic plague with her mother.
Yeah.
And in there's all over the place. And like I said, so why are you having Emma Watson? You're a feminist. Why are you taking this role? Because also even down to the design of the iconic dress, she was being very opinionated about that. I didn't like that. And also, side note, I've seen some behind the scenes pictures of what the practical Beast would have looked like. It actually would have been pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so. It's I don't know. With films like Mulan and Beauty and the Beast, I get really nervous because they try to pull too much into the film. Like we talked about a few episodes back, how do you make a good film? Mm-hmm. Okay, right. Like either simple cast and complicated story, or complicated story, or complicated characters and simple story. Right. With these, they're trying to throw in so much, and it's just like we don't know what we're watching. and you never want people to not know what kind of movie they're getting.
Yeah,
Especially when it's
yeah.
based on a property that already fucking exists.
For sure, yeah.
Like-
Composition is like pretty important.
Yeah, you know. So I don't know, but all right. Next, what they got? Now I'm actually really excited about Lady in the Tramp. The reason why I'm excited about Lady in the Tramp.
I didn't even know they were doing that.
Yes,
I don't know
I've
too
been
much
very.
about.
I know quite a bit that I cannot talk about, but I can tell you it's going to be an adorable film. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be an adorable film.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's going to be a
I'm
very
okay with this.
and Kirstie Clemens is yes, my wife.
It's
Yes,
adorable.
it's going to be a very interesting kind of because it's going to be like the old school Disney film. It's going to be like live action mixed with animation.
Oh, cool.
Like the old school Disney.
Pete's Dragon and stuff.
Yes, it's going to give you kind of
We can
that
bring that
old
one back.
yeah.
Let's bring that one.
They
It's
did
gonna-
actually.
yeah,
They did
they did a
one.
Pete's Dragon. Yeah, they did Pete's Dragon.
That was like just a couple years ago, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, it was okay.
I was a little too old.
Yeah, it was
I don't
another.
think I
It was
saw it,
it
actually.
was another one where
I was a little too old, I guess.
yeah.
That's cool, though.
Yeah,
I
so-
wonder if are they going to do like a Homeward Bound thing where like the mouth doesn't move, they just kind of talk for the.
Oh, that would.
Can't
you
tell
know,
you.
And like, cause that'd be. I mean, cause that
Yeah.
that
God,
worked for Homeward
It
Bound.
did.
Yeah,
It did.
now, I haven't thought about
It
the
did.
movie in years.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible journey.
It's going to be interesting
The
how they do it.
porcupine.
You know, but you know what
yeah.
I'm sad
Oh,
about,
that's
which I know we
cringe.
probably won't see, is like songs like "We Outside Your Music."
Oh yeah.
Nope.
You know, it won't work today
No.
because someone will be offended. Although that's one of my favorite
It
songs.
never
But they're
offended
Siamese
me, that
cats.
song.
Yeah, I know,
did.
but someone will be actually no. What will happen? A white person will be offended on behalf of Asians,
We are nationally neutral. If you.
right? That's what happened. But dude,
No. This make it'll be
right?
trapped.
But what I hope they don't do is I hope they don't try to remake "He's a Tramp" sung by Peggy Lee because no one
yeah.
can sing that song as
Yeah.
good as her.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
that's the shit right there.
Is Tessa
Right?
gonna actually be singing?
There's gonna have singing. It's
No,
Disney.
but is like Tessa gonna actually sing?
I don't know.
Well,
It'll be
the
dope if she
Johnson
does.
Lady never
Actually sing.
sang.
Are they
I
gonna
think.
actually?
They
sing?
might. I mean, because they did pick people who have singing ability, so you know, I don't know. Shit, it'll be kind of dope. All right, next movie, Little Mermaid. Yes, so you know we talked about that a little bit earlier. You know, the thing that really gets me about this Little Mermaid controversy in terms of nostalgia that people are complaining about because they say it's not my Ariel, is my thing is like, dude, they can dye her hair red. Okay, number one. I'm more concerned about who the fuck they gonna cast as Sebastian. That's who I'm curious about. Who's gonna be the Jamaican crab?
Wait.
Okay.
Aquafina's voicing Scuttle?
Yeah,
Interesting.
that I'm kind of like meh because you know who are because as long as they have my line of
That's very boring.
I'll be happy. That's my favorite line. That's my
yeah.
favorite line of the whole movie. Scuttle is the man for that. I fucking love that. But I would have liked to see. I can't remember the name of the transgender singer that would have been great for Ursula because he actually sang "Poor Unfortunate Souls."
Oh, I know
live,
what you're talking about. I don't know his
and
name, but
he killed
I
it.
listened. I thought it was really good.
Killed it. Like that would have been a great casting for Ursula, especially since Ursula is based off of Divine. You know, and off of a famous popular drag queen, because it'd been like,
Guy Fieri
awesome.
should be Ursula.
how about we just forget we ever thought about that? No.
yeah.
That's really bad how that's just, no, that just, how about we not do that ever?
Number one thing.
I'm about to take you down to Flavor Town.
He could be the chef.
Yeah, you know, oh, that would be
Oh,
funny. The French chef.
I'm just saying.
Sold.
And that's the
I can see
thing.
him shoving like.
There's scenes like that
stuff.
that would be so good and funny to redo live
Guy
action.
Fieri chasing around a
Oh
CGI crab.
my
Who do you think's gonna
god!
be Trident?
I don't know.
Have you seen like the meme that it should be
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson?
Or Terry Crews is so ridiculous. But and that's the thing. Like since they're making these changes, it really doesn't matter. You know, I although Zendaya would have been great as Ariel because she's an amazing singer.
I remember that was like.
I did not go. Oh, girl can sing like that.
Yeah, she.
I saw her live performing with Mario. I was like,
What up, though?
right? I was like,
That was like a year or two ago they were talking about her possibly getting it.
yeah.
And then whatever happened to that other Little Mermaid movie with Chloe Grace Moretz? Do you remember that?
Oh,
It was like
that was
Sophia
a thing.
Coppola was
Yeah,
supposed to
whatever
direct it,
happened.
and it was supposed to be true to the actual story.
Really?
Where spoiler alert, she died.
yeah, because she does die.
Then
just-
Chloe donned the hit girl outfit,
Right.
and people got dead.
Right,
real
yeah.
fast.
But to be honest, one of of the reasons I personally don't care about this movie because, yeah, like I said before, I don't really like Little Mermaid as a movie and
It's
a character.
a teen love story.
I love, and I hate teen love stories because, yes, although I'm an actor, I hate Romeo and Juliet. That's teens being stupid.
Yeah.
And I don't like Little Mermaid because every girl say that's the perfect example of a young girl. I'm like, what do you mean a little girl who almost destroys her entire kingdom from a boy she saw?
And she throws away all of her own gifts just to be able to
For a boy she
basically
saw.
be
I'll just say
exactly
this,
like
like,
him.
Right.
She's ultra petty.
The reason
Right.
why me and my cousins and my sister liked Ariel was not because of what she did, was just who she was before human. We just thought, cool, you're a mermaid, you get to swim. That's why we like you. That's
And it was
it.
just like,
That
it's
was
the same
it.
reason why I hate Frozen, because I'm just like two teenagers
Oh, that I
almost
can't.
killing their entire freaking kingdom
you
because
not?
of their emotions. Stop!
Could you not?
Women are better than that. Stop writing them at that damn stupid. But whatever. That's another episode for another day. Okay, so.
We need to have one where like there needs to be Disney princes where it's just a series of movies with stupid princes.
Well, guess what? You're going to see that.
Oh, really?
They're doing a live action Prince Charming film. About the perspective of Prince
Can you
Charming and his
imagine
brother.
though, like some guy
Yeah.
walking around on a horse?
Yeah.
Hey, it's a funeral. I'm gonna go make out with that dead body.
Yeah, that was Into the Woods. So,
I know that.
right? And next we have, now see, I didn't know about Snow White until recently. I knew that they were thinking about making another one because, they did the
Mark
other Snow White
Webb.
films. What was it, Snow White and the Huntsman or something like
Oh,
that?
yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that
now
was-
they're doing
they tried.
another Snow White film to where it's
okay.
going to be the classic remake, and it's Mark Webb directing it, so it's like that's
Yeah.
going to be really interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
This one I'm very curious about them actually doing so late because I thought they were going to do a lot
Yeah.
earlier, especially because it's Disney's first feature-length animated film.
Yeah.
But I think they really wanted to make sure the other ones worked because hey, this was their first big one.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you have people who are tied to like La La Land and Greatest Showman on this, so they're trying to make this one go all out.
It'll be a big one. Yeah,
Yeah, they're trying to make this go all out because it's just like, look, we don't want to fuck this up because we know
All I
Disney will
gotta
come back
say
and
is-
kill us.
Is that
Yeah.
Wicked Witch?
Right?
That Wicked Witch better be damn scary.
Yes.
That's that transformation sequence. That's Nightmare Fuel, the forest, all of that.
Dude, the forest better be as scary as the motherfucking ride.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh,
'Cause
man.
Oh god, yeah, I'm
it's a
nightmares
dark ass
from that.
ride, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit's crazy. All right, what we got? See, next. All right, there we go. There you go,
Cruella.
Tamara.
There you go.
Cruella.
There you go.
I am so excited about this because, see, I love all the Disney
The
villains.
face. She's got the best.
She's
thing.
Right.
the bad. The villains are the ones that
Although if you want to have fun,
good.
go on.
just trying to
Go look up the
survive.
actors.
Trying to make it in the
Shitty,
world,
it's
you know?
shitty and great.
Man.
It's so good.
And they're so much more.
Like-
they're always more
I-
intelligent.
I
They're
wanna say-
always more
Yeah.
intelligent.
Emma
as villains.
Thompson.
And see, you got Emma Thompson and Emma Stone. I don't know about Emma Thompson. I don't know, what she's really going to do and how well it's going to be, but I'm so excited to see Emma Stone because, like, that will be dope. And
Emma Stone's really cool.
Yeah.
I think she's rad.
Who's
yeah,
she gonna be?
Emma Stone's going to be Cruella.
Oh no.
Yeah, she's playing Cruella. I don't know if
I
they're
hope she has the two-tone hair.
right.
Get rid of the ginger.
She's
for a
got
little bit.
the cool voice for it.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, she does.
she's
She
got
has
kind
that
of the-
really
the-
sexy
Yeah.
raspy.
Raspy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you
Yeah.
want to have fun,
Yeah.
look up the original actress that Cruella was based off. Tallulah Bankhead.
Yes.
Oh, she's
she
great
was-
actress.
Oh, she is kind of like Tallulah
She-
Bankhead.
Yeah, has anyone ever
Oh.
seen the Alfred Hitchcock movie
Yep.
Lifeboat?
Yep.
That
Yep.
movie had, Tallulah Bankhead was in that.
Oh yeah, yeah. And Emma
Love it.
Thompson, she can play anything. I mean,
She
there's
can.
nothing Emma Thompson cannot.
Such
She
a
can play
great-
men. She can play women. She can play aliens. She can play God. She's
She's
Emma
gonna be
Thompson's
the
amazing.
Dalmatians.
Tell us
She
how
could be
you-
every
how
single
you
one of them
feel
and
about
Just
it.
the Dalmatian.
Yeah.
We need you to speak very clearly and concisely on your feelings for
It's
Emma
Emma
Thompson.
Thompson. She's a
I'm just
like,
here.
no.
Here's the concise right
See
here.
right there. Yeah, so that casting I'm very happy about because I'm like that's going to work. I don't like the fact that they use 50 Shades of Grey as a note about the writer because I'm like put that away, go
Yeah,
away.
you don't do
Can I
that.
say though that's
And it's
also
the-
like a case where the actors were not in the right role, like the Beauty and the Beast
Yeah.
role. You had a strong feminist playing someone that was not supposed to
Yeah,
be
50
stronger than.
Shades
Yeah.
of dumminess.
The description says that they're gonna it's gonna be described as an 80s set origin story with a punk vibe.
Oh, so is it?
With a punk vibe.
Interesting.
You hear Chris?
I mean, that's why she's got the
Excuse
two-tone
me?
hair.
You hear
Right,
Punky
right.
thing going on. Like,
Jarrell, did you hear Chris?
I did. You all right, Chris? You do?
She's
Yeah.
going to have, her dress is going to have spikes on one shoulder
Right.
and a Union Jack on the
Yeah.
other.
With Dalmatian claws on the other side. Oh God.
Okay,
Right. Uh-huh.
I'll bite.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, next up.
insane.
Now I'm so excited about this. Oh my God, I'm excited about Pinocchio live action. They
God, that
have
movie scared me.
yeah, we actually know what they're doing with that, which I can't say, but I'm really excited about that.
So
But
okay, as long as it's good.
Yes, it's
You
gonna be
better.
very, very good.
You better.
But see, Pinocchio has been. I'm excited for so many reasons. Pinocchio has been in live action development hell for a long time.
Really?
They were trying to do it with Tom Hanks. They were trying to do it with what's his name? We're trying to do it with Kelsey Grammer. They're trying to do it with so many
As
different people.
Geppetto?
Robert Downey
Yeah.
Jr. at one
Yeah,
point.
yeah. They were trying to do it with so many people,
Wow.
but it kept dying. And after they did Christopher Robin. Because Christopher Robin was actually a test, and that was a really good film. That's a film that hits you right into nostalgia feels because they did not try to rehash the cartoon.
Yeah.
They went with the book and they made it grow up.
I
Christopher
thought
Robin was done
Paddington
so
did
well.
that too,
Yes.
so well,
Yes.
and I was really,
Really,
really
really
well.
well.
Paddington, but I heard good things.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah, because Christopher Robin did well. Yeah, but Pinocchio, I am so excited
Wait,
about.
the director from Paddington.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
and
could capture
yeah,
the heart,
it's-
but then
oh my
I want to
God.
know. Okay, I know, given his credits for Paddington, okay, you can capture the heart, but
Yeah.
can you capture the horror?
No.
That's my thing with Pinocchio.
Well, see, Pinocchio has a lot of dark elements to it,
Darkness,
and that's
yeah.
what one of the problems was because they were skating on, do we give you guys the real Pinocchio story, or do we kind of keep... But I'm like, dude, the animated version has some dark shit.
Yeah, that's a pretty
That's a-
You know,
Kids
kids
scary
in
version,
circus
too.
concentration camps?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
fuck.
true. They're all
Like,
turning into mules. and
Yeah, I'm
stuff.
like, that shit was messed up. So,
Pleasure Island and Monster of the Whale.
yeah,
And then, like the rides like at Disneyland, for me, what scared me
Yeah.
just as much as Snow White was when Monstro shows up. As a kid, that looks like
Yeah.
you could fill up the whole room, and then when you're an adult and you go on, it's like, fuck,
I just
this
hate
guy.
that. Yeah, it's still scary because it's like, y'all kids supposed to go and he's going to fuck them
Yeah,
up.
some scary shit. That's
But I
Right,
know
yeah.
I am
Like,
interested
on.
to see
You
how
do.
this one, when it comes
Yeah.
out, how it'll compare with the stop motion, Guillermo del Toro version.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I am excited about Pinocchio because, like I said, I'm a little tied close to what's going on with this, and it's some dope shit that they're doing. It's
Cool.
very exciting. Next up, now
You
this.
got your hands in everything, Jarrell.
Yeah,
You're just like
yeah, you
you're
do.
like you got your
I
finger on the pulse of Hollywood
We
over
just
here.
need to
I
like
mean, yeah, I
lock
gotta know what's
ourselves
going
into
on.
like
I
a
gotta
bank
know it. I
type
gotta know.
vault, and then
Alright.
we just need to walk into like
Yeah.
a bank type vault, close the door, and then you could tell us everything.
Can tell y'all shit.
Yeah, man.
Now, Hunchback of Notre Dame, I also have a little bit of info on because they've been keeping this under wraps because of, I don't know, they're having a lot of issues with the fucking
source-
EDA
And the
being
source
stupid.
material is
But,
interesting,
yeah,
to say the least.
Well, the EDA has been giving them problems because they don't want to so-called misrepresent people who have developmental problems. But I'm like, it's not. The
He
guy,
doesn't.
he doesn't have developmental problems. He's just ugly. So,
He said it, but-
you know, but I don't know. I never liked this movie very much in the animated version. I hope the live-action version is better because
Esmeralda was babe.
I mean, outside of her being so cute, I actually fell asleep a number of times because I'm like, this is a film about a really ugly kid and a really bad paleophilic priest that's messed
Hellfire is
up.
probably one of Disney's darkest scenes.
You know, so I was like, man. But Hunchback of Notre Dame has never interested me, from the books to the other musicals to the film. So when it comes out, I'll probably go, oh, cool. That's the thing. It looks good. Moving on. Next, that's how I feel about it.
Damn.
Prince Charming, yes.
Oh man.
So this is Disney
Shall
going
we
to be
see?
taking more of, like I said, the old school nostalgia that we knew, but giving a different take on it and showing us something a little different from another perspective. And I love perspective stories.
Yeah.
And I love when you say, oh, you think you know about this story, let's look at the other side. Because basically what they're doing, you scroll down a little bit, they're going to be basically looking at what happens, you know, from, I guess you can say this, the point of view of like his brother and like not living
Prince
up to the family
Charming's
name.
brother?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn,
But-
that is
Young
quite a
girl.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, if
Alright.
Jesus
That's
Christ had a
young.
brother named Henry, you know, I'm Henry Christ. I'm Henry Christ. Yeah, my brother can walk on water and change water and wine.
Question.
Right.
So, which Prince Charming? And then-
I don't know, but I'm assuming it probably either will be from Snow White or Cinderella.
Now, because will they
Could be.
bring back?
Yeah.
Because they've done. This will be coming out relatively like close to the other live action films we've done. So will they get the cast back from the Cinderella
Oh,
live
hell
action?
no. No, they won't. No. I guarantee you to get a whole new cast. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, it isn't just greenlit yet, but it's in the works. And, but they want to do more of these perspective pieces because those have actually worked out really well, especially with movies like Maleficent. Maleficent worked really well,
Yeah.
and it was a different perspective.
It's
And
cool,
people,
seeing the
wanna-
villain's perspective.
Yeah,
Fuck
and people
yeah.
want to see more of that. And we never hear much about Prince Charming. Like, okay, who? And, he got a brother. Oh, I know he was mad as hell. Like,
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 I'm not gonna get the kingdom. I'm not gonna get the princess.
right? Like, what am I doing over here? So that'll be interesting. Next up,
Soundtrack by Randy Newman.
exactly. Oliver Twist. Right?
Always getting the short end of
So we're getting another Oliver film, but you see the Oliver movies were always good for me, and those are always really fun. And the cast is Ice Cube.
What?
That's what they have on board right now. So they're doing a hip hop spin with this, which would be kind of interesting to see what they do.
Hopefully Fagin. Intriguing.
Yeah, because Oliver and Company was a little bit of a twist as well. Puns, I like that. But a hip hop twist would be interesting because I would really want to see what they do with that music and how much they will allow Cube and maybe his folks to be a part of that. Just to see what they do.
Crazy
I don't know.
motherfucking name, Oliver.
Right? Fuck the police.
Oh God.
So that'll be something to see.
There will be a by Felicia in the movie.
Yeah, right? There'll be a cat named Felicia in the movie. Right? Exactly. Oh God, what we got next? What we see? What we got? James, whoa! Now this I did not know they were doing another one.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Did they just do a James and Giant Beach though?
No.
It was a while ago. It's
Was it a
just
while ago?
it seems like it's so recent because
It does seem like
the movie
just
is
the other
still good
day.
and we still watch it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well,
but,
and it's such a unique
1996.
kind of movie too.
Yeah,
the stop
it
going.
is.
Fine worked on that.
So cool.
Yeah. Was that Tim Burton?
Yeah.
It was Tim Burton.
we have a pitch
Okay.
here.
Oh, that's right.
we got
Tim
the pictures,
Burton's
yeah.
work.
We got cool shit here at the studio.
They-
It's pretty
Oh,
nuts. We got
yeah.
legit set pieces.
Y'all want to see it? Y'all got to show up.
Oh, you got Nick Hornby who's going to be the writer. That'll be
There's the
interesting.
cricket. Yeah, look, behind you guys.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh yeah,
right
there it is
there.
back there in the back. There.
So that'll be interesting. So wow. The director Sam Mendes, who did American Beauty and Skyfall. Huh. Okay. It's on their to-do list. So
It's
that's
interesting
what
when
it
you
see
see some of their director
Oh,
choices
is
because you're
this
like, wow, that
the-
is not really your typical foray into
Exactly.
filmmaking.
Yeah.
So how are you going to spin this?
I hope that shit works.
Let's find out.
About to
Right.
find out.
And this is another one that's been in development hell for a
Tank.
long
Is it Reese? Is this the
time.
That
Reese
would be
Witherspoon?
interesting.
Yeah, they've been trying to do a Tank live action film since Hook. Since
Oh
Hook.
man,
Since Hook.
I would watch this. For
Yeah,
sure.
I would
and but see,
watch
but
this.
Hook,
This would be awesome.
but Hook is another example of how you take nostalgia and give it another perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
You know,
This is
because
the
that's why
Reese
Christopher
Witherspoon.
Robin works so well because they made the characters grow up and they gave us another perspective that
Yeah.
worked.
Sure.
Yeah.
And for right now, we have Reese Witherspoon, in the
Really?
cast. So
I wonder if her production company's gonna actually do it.
it'd be smart as hell. I
Yeah,
hope
it'd
so.
be really
It'd be
cool.
really smart because like I said, they've been trying to do a Tank live action film for a long time, but it's just been couldn't
I'll
find
bet
the
that
right
could be
writers.
kind of dark too.
Yeah.
Well, Peter Pan is.
Well, fairies. Yeah.
It's because they got the screenwriter from Finding Dory,
Yeah.
so they've been busy for like the last 5 years to get that out. So
Yeah,
that makes sense.
exactly.
That's why.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So.
And next up, we got the live action Peter Pan, another film they've been trying to remake.
that
They've been
was
trying to
my- that was
remake
my
that
favorite.
again.
Yeah. I really liked this stuff.
Yeah.
I liked the Peter Pan universe.
Yes.
Yes,
And it's
I
like
do.
Hook was scary.
Yeah.
It was.
When
Yeah.
it's like the windows are shutting and they're like
Yes.
she's like freaking out.
Yeah.
The windows are broken in the. It's so scary. I remember as a
So
kid
good.
being.
Oh
like,
yeah. and I'm really excited to see a Peter Pan remake because it's like all of the ones that I've seen them do have worked out really well.
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
and the story still works just as long as they put it my. I don't want to see That's my shit.
And then
That'll be dope. And the last one we have on the list is something I have been very, very, very close to this because this is my favorite Disney film of all time. When people ask me what my favorite Disney film is, I tell them
I don't
it's
know if I've ever
Sword
watched
in
this
the
one.
dude.
Sword
We
and Stone is
should
so
do
good.
we should do a
Commentary.
viewing of this on the show.
I agree.
This movie
the
is so
the wizard off the
fucking
off.
good.
Yes,
Madam
yes.
Mim
And
and
yes.
Archimedes. I have an
I
Archimedes shirt that just says whoop, 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 whoop. Like,
I
oh,
where that is.
Yeah, I do.
Where
I
did
do.
We'll watch the Sword and
To
Stone.
get my friend the Robertson Disney got me the like.
so
actual-
good.
It's really good.
So
It's really good.
It's a different take on a King Arthur story, and Merlin is like this crazy, weird hippie uncle that's just
Totally.
out of his mind. Madame Mim is this crazy witch, and Archimedes is like the mature one that's dealing with all these young, dumb idiots. And it's a story that doesn't take itself seriously, but it works so well,
Sad
and the
as
jokes
well.
are
When this
still
girl
funny.
falls in love with him, like every time I
Oh,
see it,
that's
it's
so
like-
sad. The
It's
school
so
and she's like, why couldn't you humanize her?
Yeah.
Right? Oh,
She gets her
man.
little
yeah,
squirrel
why
heart
don't we humanize
broken
her
and
this time?
Yeah.
Like,
Come on,
he needs a
human.
girlfriend. Like, let's be honest.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Although
I'm-
Merlin almost
yeah.
got a squirrel girlfriend too.
Right, and I've been waiting on the I forget to say Game of Thrones because Brian is tied to it, but I've been waiting on Sword in the Stone for a long time because this was the one film I'm like, once they announce this shit, I'm leaping out of my fucking chair because Sword in the Stone, I still watch that movie. Like, I still watch this shit.
man.
But yeah, Sword in the Stone is so good, and like, dude, yeah, we can do a viewing of that for the show because it's just good. It's just a really, really good film. So
Okay, I don't know how far along into this list we are, but
Yeah.
I have my fingers crossed for one,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna wait and see. We'll
What?
see if it's on
All
this
right.
list.
I have a few too. but
You
we'll
got a
see.
few?
I don't know if it's on here, but
Okay.
we'll see. And if
We'll
it's not,
see.
you can just
We'll
announce
see.
it.
We'll
Scroll
see.
down. What we got? Oh,
Really?
whoa!
Wow.
Huh. Okay.
The monster
Wait.
coming in, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm with it.
All right. Yeah. See, I'll be interested to see Lilo and Stitch live action just because of the way it can be shot. You know.
What?
Yeah, and especially because that would involve a lot of really cool live action. I would like to actually see them bring Ving Rhames back to play the actual CIA guy.
Do all the mocap
Yeah,
for it
Bubbles.
and everything.
Yeah, to play Bubbles, that would be dope.
He's got one of the
Yeah.
best lines I've ever heard when he's like,
Thus far, you have been adrift in the sheltered harbor of my patience.
Yes. Yeah.
that is so
Cobra Bubbles.
bad.
You just
Right?
look
And
like
he's got
a
like one
social
lens
worker.
out.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just Lilo and Stitch would be really, really cool to see live action. And that's the end of that list.
So what were you looking for?
Yes, give us movies that you guys would like to
man.
see. What you
I
got?
would love to see a CGI Hercules.
Ooh,
That's something I
You
think that they're
couldn't even
considering.
get Danny DeVito
Yeah.
to be
Yes.
Phil.
I think that actually is something that is on the list of being considered right now.
Oh,
I
it's
think it
such
is.
Whatever they do,
badass
please
movie.
don't recast Hades.
I think
Please
No.
no. That's like the
Even his
Mufasa.
likeness.
You gotta bring James Woods back. Like, you
Oh,
can't
man.
not have no.
I would love that. That would make me so happy.
Dude.
You could get like
yeah.
get like Henry Cavill or somebody to be Hercules. Just like buff him up
Yeah.
and just let him be
Didn't he
charming.
do like a
Right.
Greek mythology movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. He played
Was it?
oh
Which
god.
one?
Oh
Not
god.
Theseus.
No. Oh fuck. Why am I blanking?
Okay.
The movie with Henry Cavill and
Immortals? Was that
Immortals. It was
Oh,
called
there you go.
Immortals.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it was called
I forgot he
Immortals.
did that, yeah.
wasn't a bad film.
No,
It was very
not a
visual.
bad film.
I liked
Yeah,
it.
it was not a bad film at all. It was
I'm always
actually
down for like
pretty
a
well.
visual movie. Like if it's
Yeah.
if
This
it's
was
a
pre-
spectacle, I like.
And
that.
it was pre
Yeah.
Man of Steel too.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because after that he put on like
Yeah.
a bunch of weight and got ready for Man of Steel. Like he went in.
He
for
was
that.
already looking
man.
good in
Yeah.
Immortals.
It's like, well, since we're here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, maybe.
Yeah, it's 2011. Yeah, because right after that he got into training for Man of Steel. I
Oh,
remember
yeah,
that film. That was a
Mickey
good film.
Rourke was in the movie.
Yeah.
That's right.
I do remember this movie.
Yeah.
I definitely
Yeah.
remember this
It was
movie.
a very
looked
underrated film.
Really
It was
cool.
a Tarzan movie. That's right.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of came out on the heels of all the Sam
Yes.
the Sam Worthington movies.
Yeah.
Um,
Of the when he
Clash of the
redid
Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, when he was Perseus. Yeah.
Perseus. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad film at all. That was pretty good. Well, you guys, if we're done with all that, what? Oh, you got one more? What?
Okay. This one actually I've heard rumors about, and it's been quiet. The Night on Bald Mountain movie. They were gonna take that scene from Fantasia and expand upon it, and it was gonna be like
Oh,
a
like
war-
make it a whole movie.
Well,
Yes.
yeah. They are going to do the
with Chernobog.
Yeah. That's actually been on the docket as well, but we just don't know what the development is because what's the name was supposed to do his voice. It wasn't.
Tell me.
It wasn't Nick Cage. It was supposed to be God. What's the guy's name?
What movies has he done?
It was supposed to be Christopher Lee before he died, but then they were going to get someone else. Yeah.
How did you top
it was
that?
going to be Christopher Lee. Yeah, and they're now looking for someone else. They're probably just going to go like Frank Welker or someone that can do your type of voice.
And then
but
I actually have a part 2 too to that. It'll be Disney's chance to redeem themselves. Black Cauldron. You could try again and actually make it, because remember it was dark, but like there was supposed to be even more like graphic scenes, especially towards the end, and that
would be kind of dope.
Yeah.
I would like to see that.
I think Fern Gully would be a good one.
Man.
Fern Gully.
So I don't know who you would get to be Batty because no one's going to be able to be.
How do you top Robin Williams?
But I think,
they said
especially
that
with
about
everything that's
Aladdin.
going on globally, like climate-wise, it would be a good one. You need to bring Hexus out, and
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry's got to be Hexus still, though. You cannot take it.
Yeah, no, damn.
Well, and you could do it too because since he's primarily just like a smog monster,
Yeah.
he could just do the voice. How is Tim Curry doing these days? I mean, like not like how's he doing, but is he like?
No,
he
he's not.
He had the stroke and
Yeah,
everything
in fact,
wrong.
like a couple years ago, they did like a little gallery tribute to him, like of all his character roles, and it was sad because I couldn't believe how ignorant people were. Tim Curry was there in a wheelchair, and they were just walking by him. They didn't recognize.
Yeah, they didn't recognize. Yeah.
He was like in a corner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's because he looks so different now, and it's just like damn.
Yeah,
I was just watching Congo the other day, and was like, oh shit.
Ooh,
Like
I had one. I don't even want to say it now.
no, say it.
It's Atlantis. I like that movie a lot.
That,
yes,
and the princess. Now that was my bad. I hate that word.
And Mike Mignola inspired artwork, like the design of the animation. I loved Atlantis.
That was the thickest fucking Disney princess I had ever seen on screen. I was like,
Good
damn, give me some of that, there, boy. Take some of that. I'm like, Milo got himself a good one, that boy.
Coming off of like Aquaman too, like they already have the ideas of how they would shoot something like
Totally.
that.
Sand boy, yeah.
That or like Treasure Planet or something.
Disney, give us Atlantis. Okay.
Atlantis.
He said thank you.
Yes.
I remember there was a rumor they were gonna, before the submarine ride became the Finding Nemo one, it was gonna be Atlantis.
Yeah, it was. It was.
But then
It
after
really
that,
was.
James Cameron was interested with that, which I thought, why couldn't you have at least James Cameron do something with the submarine? I don't need Finding Nemo. What the hell is this shit?
Hey, we like Finding Nemo.
Yeah, but I don't want that in a submarine ride at Disneyland. The submarine ride had a giant squid in it.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Way back in the
That
day.
was, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Also, I'm feeling very old because I remember that and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
No.
That shit was
No,
scary
you go
as
to
shit.
hell.
Because and on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Full Mouth Trivia. Oh my God, that would just be wrong.
Goofy movie.
Thank you, Arvanna White. Get it over here. You guys, we have brought back some marshmallows for y'all because we know y'all hate
They
and
don't
love them so much.
dissolve.
We
learned our lesson.
Yeah. There we go.
If you touch it, you gotta eat it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
I love marshmallows.
No, put it on plate.
Marshmallow.
Marshmallow.
I've actually eaten that one. No, was it?
Marshmallow is something.
If I eat one, I'm eating more than one. I love
So you're gonna pretend to be really bad.
I'm like
Temptation.
marshmallows are my sherbet.
See,
for
the
business.
longer you talk, the longer we have to wait before we can shove these
Can we
in our
get a
faces.
candle
See?
though, so I can
Go
like
ahead.
roast mine before I put it? No.
Ladies and gentlemen, the rules of Full Mouth Trivia, as usual, is I will ask a series of multiple choice questions. And if you get one
The green
correct,
milk.
you don't have to put food in your mouth. You get one incorrect and put food in your mouth. But you cannot chew or swallow or do weird things with them and make excuses.
Don't tell me my life. What I do behind closed doors is my business alone.
I mean, they're marshmallows.
Hey guys, if you
And with that being said, question number one.
Oh, don't you tell me what I can't
Fucking
do
weird
with
asses.
marshmallows.
This is going to be all about nostalgia. So we're taking it from y'all
A Florida
childhood.
man was doing weird shit with heroin needles. I can do what I want with marshmallows.
Bend over. Question number one with y'all weird asses. What popular 1983 caused long lines during the holidays? Was it A, Micro Machines? Was it B, Cabbage Patch Kids? Was it C, Simon? Or was it D, My Little Pony?
Those are good ones. Holy shit.
Holy
I'm going to say Cabbage Patch Kids.
Okay.
I'm also gonna say Cabbage Patch
Yeah.
Kids.
My Little Pony.
Okay.
Cabbage Patch Kids?
If you got Cabbage Patch Kids, you were correct. It was.
Mom?
They were
Hottest damn
thank
toy of
you.
the 80s,
They were
dude.
so cute with the
Yeah. Those
Their
things
eyes were
made
so
people
heavy that they just
go
constantly.
Yeah, the
I
doll
don't
was all
know.
like stuffed, and it was
Right.
just
Seriously,
for a
and-
mom.
That thing was boom all the time. What the fuck?
I'm like, I think I just killed my baby.
Yeah.
And I was a kid in the 90s, so
Right.
I can't remember.
1992.
Oh, I mean, can I change I mean, My Little Pony.
Yeah, right.
changed my
Shut
answer.
up. Question number 2. How old was Ralph Macchio when he filmed the first Karate Kid? Was he A, 19, B, 14, C, 24, D, 22?
14, 19, 22, and what was it?
24.
Let's say 22.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 19.
I'm gonna say 22.
I'm gonna say 19.
Answer is 22.
Oh,
Everybody
come
else got
on,
it wrong.
really?
So I'm
Bullshit.
not allowed to eat this. It just
No,
Now I
it's
get
that's
them
why
all
it's called
right.
full mouth trivia. Put it in your mouth. Put it in your mouth.
You gotta come up with a plan here.
Okay.
This isn't working.
Question number 3. What year did the seatbelt law go into effect? Was it A, 1969, B, 1984, C, 1979, or D, 1985?
What was the 80s one again?
1984 and 1985.
Okay. I'll say 84.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 84.
79.
Okay.
Questionable when I was a kid.
Very
Weird.
nice.
Right.
It's 1984. Anyone else did that?
This
Put in
is
your mouth.
horseshit.
Yep, because before
This is
that,
bullshit.
you didn't really need
Why you gotta
seatbelts. The
be so
kids are
smart?
flying all over the
Now
goddamn
you
place.
can do this.
He's gonna get them all right,
That's all
right?
you need.
Exactly.
crap.
You had this, or you had yours in the sunroof of the car. That's where you was.
I mean, this is
Okay.
We were just in the back of the
All right.
station wagon. Our mom was just
So-
like,
You're like making faces.
According to
at
the NSA, question number 4. According to the NSA, what toy became a security threat in the 90s? Was it A, Tamagotchi? Was it B, Furby? Was it C, Game Boy? Was it D, Sega Genesis?
Tamagotchi.
Furby.
Wait, I'm sorry, what was the question again?
What toy became a security threat in the 90s according to the NSA?
Oh, Tamagotchi.
Okay.
Tamagotchi.
It was a Furby. Everybody else put
They
food in your
catch on
mouth.
fire.
No.
Yeah.
They were
Every
both-
catch.
And the NSA also thought that they had listening devices because it was made from another country. Thought they were listening in on what Americans were doing. All right.
It's becoming problematic.
How much did the first cell phone weigh?
Oh my God.
Was it A, 2 pounds, B, 3 pounds, C, 4 pounds, or D, less than 2 pounds?
4 pounds.
3 pounds.
4 pounds.
Everybody's wrong. It was 2 pounds. Put it in your mouth. Are you doing all right there, Sam? Put it in there. Put it in there. All right. Question number 6.
Oh, it's delightful.
Which chew? Can't even speak. I got food in my mouth. Which two 90s, damn, still can't say this. Which two 90s inventions were made by the same person? Was it A, Rubik's Cube and Tetris? Was it B, Super Soaker and Nerf Gun? Was it C, Thigh Master and Mood Ring? Or was it D, DVDs and Laserdisc?
The Thigh Master one.
Okay.
The Nerf gun one.
Okay. What the fuck did you just say?
Make the movement. If it's the Thigh Master, do your thigh.
Super Soaker? Got it.
Okay.
What the hell was that?
Nerf gun.
Oh,
Huh, what? The Super Soaker? No, it was C, Thigh Master. So the only one got it right.
That's messed up. That's messed up. I don't want Tamara back on this show.
All right, last question, you guys. What was the most watched movie of the 90s? Was it A, Jurassic Park, B, Shawshank Redemption,
Oh,
C,
man.
Titanic, or D, The Matrix?
Oh, God. Oh, man.
I gave y'all a good one.
Those are good
Uh-huh.
ones. I'm going to say Titanic.
Okay. Titanic, got it?
Jurassic Park?
Okay. Huh? The Matrix? Okay. You're all wrong. It was B, The Shawshank Redemption. Yes.
I buy any of those, man.
Yeah. Put food in your mouth. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching the show and playing Full Mark Trivia. You had a wonderful day today. Y'all fucked up. I'm just gonna let it stay there for a second. Thank you to Fonco, to Binary, to Jason, to Mike, to Tamara, to Julian, to Sam. Julian is drooling right now. That's really fucking gross. And Mike is dying. To Chris.
I was fine.
Funny hero